Hi, I'm Kiri. In my first devlog, I mentioned a few of the horror game ideas I came up with for the Spooktober Game Jam. I ultimately ended up going with the game about exorcising demons, but I wanted to explore a few of the other games I talked about. So today, let's concept a video game together. My working title for this idea is An Ordinary Week at the Higginbottom Manor. I'm also considering An Ordinary Week for a Butler, since that tells you a bit more about the game, but it feels too generic. Basically, I want to make a dark comedy game where you play as the butler to a young master. You face countless horrors, but you try to keep him from realizing anything is off so you can serve him dinner with a smile on your face. Little Francis Higginbottom is your charge. I'm thinking he's about 10 years old. He really looks up to his butler. He thinks he's so cool and basically treats him like a best friend. Francis wants people to call him Frankie, but the butler's very professional, usually just calling him young master. I consider Frankie to be a Bochama type of character, but I have a European setting in mind, so young master will do. I want Frankie to be very cute and endearing and very, very oblivious. He's always getting into trouble, whether because he makes poor decisions or he doesn't notice the danger right in front of him. As a noble boy, both people and dark creatures are interested in the power his family holds. That means it's your job to not only keep him safe, but protect his innocent and fragile mind. In terms of gameplay, you'll go through a 5-day work week. There will be one dangerous event every day. Frankie will never be physically hurt thanks to your intervention. I don't want to hurt a kid, but you have to avoid raising his suspicion. Once the suspicion meter reaches 5, Frankie is suddenly aware of everything going on around him and he can't handle it. His mind breaks and you lose, not only because your reputation as a butler is ruined, but because the young boy you care so much about will never recover. Each day there will also be a bonding event with Frankie, where you can spend time with him and cheer him up. As of right now, there's no clear game mechanic for these beyond endearing the player to him, but I think I may use them as a way to lower your suspicion level. That's pretty powerful though, so maybe only some of the events would be able to do that. Like, out of 20 possible events, only 5 of them have a menu choice that reduces suspicion if you click the right one. There could even be suspicion-reducing choices that only unlock if you've already seen a specific event in that playthrough. On that note, I want to add a lot of replay value. Instead of just one constant work week that you see every time you replay the game, the dangerous events and bonding events will all be super random. I'm thinking 40 options for dangerous events and 20 for bonding events. Keep in mind this is a 5-day work week, so that way there's no way to see them all the first time you play, and each playthrough will be slightly different. I took some inspiration on this from 10 Bells, an anomaly style game where you pass through the same space multiple times and spot what's different. There are so many possible anomalies that it creates a unique experience each time, and at the end of the game there's even a list of all the possible anomalies, and the ones you've seen are highlighted. It really encourages you to keep playing, so you see the ones you didn't encounter. I might incorporate something like this on the main menu using persistent values in RenPy. That should actually be pretty easy, and I feel like it would really motivate players to keep playing. I also want to randomize the timing of dangerous and bonding events. That is, I want to split each day into a morning and an evening section, and you won't always have a dangerous event in the morning. It could happen in the evening. So on day 1, you might see a dangerous event in the morning and then a bonding event in the evening, but on day 2, that could switch. I hope that makes sense. Splitting the days into time blocks like this just keeps you on your toes, I think, and I really want the gameplay loop to feel dynamic, like you're actually going through a week of someone's life and not just going through like a really formulaic process. With all of these ideas in mind, I actually recorded a little live segment as I coded in how these random events will work, so I am actually going to throw it to past Kiri. So the idea for this is it's a 5-day work week. Each day is split into morning and evening, and so you can have on each day one dangerous event and one bonding event. Let's say label start. I don't know if there's going to be like any intro stuff, so label day 1. When we enter day 1, I want to code a screen that shows the day number, the time of day, and I've been calling them like suspicion points or psyche points. Basically like how many points you have currently and how close you are to losing the game. So just like a update system every time you enter a new block of time. So, you know, we'll show update screen with a day number, time of day, and I'm gonna call them suspicion points. Here's the thing with the suspicion points, whatever we want to call them, in my head it makes sense that whenever you fail an event, you gain suspicion, so it would go from base 0 to if you reach 5 suspicion, you lose. But I think that for some players, it might make more sense for it to work like a health bar where you start at 5 like psyche points or 5 sanity points, and if you hit 0, you lose. So I'll have to play with that and see, but I'm gonna call it suspicion because that's what makes the most sense to me. So we're gonna show that screen. What I want to do is I want to set up a randomizer. So I'm gonna check really quick here. Ren'Py random choice. So we're just gonna grab this and we're gonna change the variable. So what I want this to be is event type. I'm just going to do 2 options, so 50-50 event type. If event type, oh my god, I'm going to embarrass myself so bad. I haven't coded in like a few weeks. If event type equals 1, because it was randomly generated, then we will jump to dangerous events morning. And I'm going to go in here, up here before we set all of this randomized stuff. I'm gonna set day number equals 1 and time of day equals morning. And so those will be manually set on every new time block number. So this is dangerous events morning. So we're gonna jump to that list. But if event type equals 2, then we will jump bonding events morning. So we're gonna have label day 1 morning end. And this is where the game will take you after you complete either event. Label day 1 evening. What I'm gonna do here, I'm not gonna copy this over exactly. I mean, I'm going to, but like, I'm gonna edit it. Because we already saw that this event type random, we already generated this. We're not gonna generate it again because what we definitely don't want is we don't want 2 dangerous events in the same day. That would be really broken and probably make it super difficult to win the game. It's 5 days, right? I think you have 5 days and 5 points. So theoretically, you could lose 1 point on 4 of your 5 days and still win the game, but there are chances to lose 2 or even 3 points the way I have it figured out right now. So we definitely don't want 2 dangerous events in the same day, because then you could really rack up points and make it really difficult for yourself. So instead, we're going to check what we already randomized it to. So if event type is 1, then we know we just saw a dangerous event, so we're actually going to do a bonding event. Oh, there we go. Then we'll jump to a bonding event in the evening. And if it's 2, we know that we just saw a bonding event, so we will jump to a dangerous event. And that way, everything is balanced, and we always have 1 bonding event and 1 dangerous event in the same day, but the order can be variable. And then, just like before, we will have label day 1 evening end. And I'm structuring it that way very carefully because of how we're going to jump. Because I don't know if this is true. I've heard this story that Yandere Dev, like, his coding is like so convoluted, and he would do stuff like manually program a clock with if statements for like every minute of the day. We're not doing that. That's not, that's just ridiculous. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these labels and fill them with interpolated variables so that we literally have to write 1 line of code and the game always knows where to send you. So with these time of day and day number variables, it's gonna make everything so easy. So this is our structure for day 1. But I want to go ahead and write the structure of these lists. So if we have a label, I'm just gonna copy it, I don't wanna make a mistake. Dangerous events morning. So this is gonna be our list of random events that are dangerous that could happen in the morning. So we're going to again do a Ren'Py random choice. So we will do this. and instead of 10, this will be 20. I'm thinking for the bonding events, it probably will just be 10 events, because I can't think of that many things to do, like, with a child. I don't know, like, what do? You go to the park, you eat ice cream, I don't know. I'll have to think of that. We're setting this, and this is gonna be a different variable. This is gonna be event number, and then, like I said, I'm not gonna do, like, if event number equals 1, if event number equals 2. We're not doing that. If the event number seen or complete or whatever we want to call it equals true, or sorry, equals false, jump the event number. And if the event number seen equals true, in other words, if we've already seen that event in this playthrough, then we will actually jump back to this same label, and we will just continuously re-roll this random number until we get one that we haven't seen before. And I did this in a previous, actually in this prototype project that I'll probably go over in another video. And I was so impressed at how quick and seamless Ren'Py was, jumping around in menus like this and re-rolling random numbers and things like this. Like, I didn't notice at all. It didn't disrupt the play at all. So for example, let's say that we roll number 1. So label D1. Is that all I'm gonna call it? I feel like it should be a longer label name, but maybe that's fine. So from here, this is dangerous event 1. So, you know, whatever stuff happens here, event happens. There will be some kind of choice or quick time event or something that the player will have to succeed or fail. If they succeed, then they gain no suspicion. You know, they stay level. And there is failure or critical failure. Failure is +1 suspicion, and that'll all be done with, you know, variables and stuff, but I'm just taking notes. Critical failure, yeah, I think 2 is fine. For now, we're gonna leave it at 2. And then at the end of this event, if suspicion is greater than or equal to 5, really, just for failsafe, because that can happen, then jump that end. But if suspicion is less than 5, then you continue, whatever happens, happens. You see the end of that event, and we will set this variable. D1 seen equals true, and from here we will check, like I said, the day number and the time of day. So we will jump, and again, I'll have to check all of this, but it should work. So this is day 1 morning, we're jumping to day 1 morning end. But again, we could be jumping from any day, so we're going to do day number, because that's the name of our variable, and then time of day, end. And that should bring us here. We'll be like, whoa, that's the end of the morning, and now it's time for evening. So this is dangerous events morning, and you know, there's 1 through 20. I want 20 options in the morning and the evening, but my thought is, I'm thinking there will be probably like 5 events that overlap that could be seen in the morning or the evening. Those would obviously be more likely to appear as a result. And I don't know, it just provides a little more variety of like, hey, even if you've seen this event, maybe you saw it in the morning, maybe you didn't see it in the evening. And so what I'm gonna do is we'll start the evening list at 15 and not at 21. And then 15 plus 20 should be 35. So then the morning list calls on dangerous events 1 through 20, and the evening events calls on dangerous events starting at 15. So 15 through 20 are those 5 overlapping events, and they can be called by either list. And I'll just have to keep that in mind when I write them. And then yeah, we would basically just copy this day structure, and everything should work smoothly. So that was really quick. Thank you so much, Past Kiri. So now we have the basic structure of the game, but eventually I'll have to fill in those lists I made with actual written out events. So as I mentioned, some of the events will use typical visual novel menu choices, while others will have QuickTime events. I brainstormed a few ideas of dangerous events you could face. For example, you could click left or right to avoid being hit in a knife fight or just being punched, something like that. There would be 3 QuickTime events in a row. If you succeed all 3, you successfully kill the attacker with no side effects. If you fail 1 or 2 of the 3 QuickTime events, the young master's suspicion will go up accordingly. So fail 1, you gain 1 point. Fail 2, you gain 2 points. Not because he's been directly attacked, but because of the injuries that you sustain. That's a partial failure. But if you fail all 3 of the QuickTime events, the man stabs you badly and even gets out of your grasp, and your response is totally delayed. It's a critical failure. So the man, gets in his face or gets really close to him, and obviously Frankie is really scared. That's super bad, and so your suspicion will go up by like 3 whole points. It seems pretty compelling to me. I think it could be a really quick way to lose your game though if I go this extreme. So I'm thinking most of the time it's only going to be a chance for 1 or 2 suspicion points to go up. Other examples could be you spot an intruder in the middle of the night inside the manor, and you have to stop him before he reaches the young master. I was originally thinking of this happening like at night, like the middle of the night, but I think it would have to be more like evening because I want every single day to end by dinner time. So similarly, you could see them maybe while you're out at the market with the young master, and you have to decide whether they're a threat or innocent, and keep the young master from interacting with this dangerous person. You could also be at a diplomatic dinner and you realize that some of the food has been poisoned, and you have to pay attention and click which item of food is the safe one, or which one has been tampered with to take it off the table, something like that. But all of these have so far been mostly like human attackers, but I also want this to be like sort of a fantastical setting with monsters like vampires, demons, any intelligent beings that might want to, as I said, take power from this noble family. So for example, you could go to a vampire party, hosted by like noble vampires, but of course the young master doesn't know, and maybe one of them tries to suck his blood or something, and you have to stop them without him realizing that, oh my god, these people aren't human. I'm also imagining a QuickTime event where you're carrying a candelabra and you have to ward away ghosts before they can reach the young master. I'm thinking of like a Cuphead level, and I haven't played Cuphead in like forever, but I'm thinking of that scene where like you have to ward away the ghosts before they get to the center. There could also be like, gosh, I love demons. You could prevent cultists from summoning a demon that could possess or harm the young master. By preventing the cultists from doing this, maybe you just beat them up, or maybe you have to like stop their like summoning circle or something. That could be really cool. There's also just goofy, just cartoony, like a witch is gonna eat him and you have to convince the young master that she's not as nice as she says she is, don't take candy from strangers, kid, let's get out of here. So I'm still working on all the ideas of dangerous events that there could be in this game, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. In terms of bonding events, to be honest, I haven't really brainstormed them yet, but I think it would just be like really cute, like wholesome scenes of you hanging out with Frankie, of like, you take him to the market and he has a fun time, eating ice cream, buying fruit. You buy him a new cute little outfit or something, but I don't want to draw more outfits, so probably not. I don't know. But either way, every day you will see 1 dangerous event and 1 bonding event. And then at the end of each day, as long as your suspicion level is 4 or lower, don't want to hit 5 because then you lose, you serve the young master dinner. And so I'm going to have an end of day CG. I want the CG to change slightly every day, so it's a different food item that the butler is holding, but overall it's like the same general CG. and if you survive until the end, you win the game. Then you get a ending CG that is just a variation of this end of day CG. It's nothing too crazy. It's like a big cake, but it's not like a huge party or a final happy ending or its own really unique CG, because the cycle of the week is gonna start again, right? After all, this is just an ordinary week at the Higginbottom Manor. So what do you think? I'm happy with this concept. I think it could be really fun. I'm always interested in adding random events to my games, for better or for worse. There's a lot of writing involved, so this could be a nice long-term project to work on in between game jams. If you guys like the idea, I can try to get a demo out in a few months with just a handful of events, so you can get a feel for the gameplay style. Oh, and before you go, I bet you're thinking, wow, this Kiri guy sure is great at art. All his character designs are so cute and appealing, and his talking sprites are so expressive. I wish I could have some art like that. Well, now you can, because I just opened commissions on VGen. The link is in the description, please check it out. I only have 5 slots open for the rest of this year, so don't hesitate. And if you like VTubers, which judging by the performance of my last video, some of you may, my waitlist is open for live 2D model art. I'll probably start accepting commissions for those when next year starts, but if you want to let me know you're interested now, you can submit a request and join my waitlist. I may even make a short video talking about how I set up my commissions and how I got into VGen, so let me know if that would interest you. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I hope to see you soon. For now, this is kirigaya.pnk, shutting down.